Okay, okay, you guys. So I'm gonna head over to the studio tour with the pass I have. I could finally go in here without waiting 80 minutes. So wish me luck. Is this the line? Okay. Yeah, this is the line. Let's go. Oh, I had a feeling they would play this song during studio tours. You know, this place kind of, coming over here kind of reminds me of that movie Big Fat Liar. How those, wait, what were their names? Oh, Jason and Kelly came around here to see Marty Wolf to get his to want proof. Oh look, there's the set. Hey. Okay. You know, it's been a while since I went to studio tours. The last time I went here is with my dad. And even though we only went on this, it wasn't so bad. I mean, I will give credit to my dad. He really knows how to make my day. And I do mean that in a good way, okay? I really do love him. Yeah, look at these. Yeah, there's so many. Well, at least I still have that. Where do I hope they have an express. Where? Oh, where do I go for the express?
Right here.
Oh, I have to.
Take your ticket out.
During the tour, please keep your arms and all items inside the tram. If you need any kind of
There you go.
assistance, for instance, a medical emergency, or you got something value off the side of the tram, do not jump off of the tram. This is unsafe for you and those working at the studio. Instead, reach overhead and pull on the red cord that runs down the center of each car. Your guide will be back to assist you as soon as it is safe to do so. Please remain seated and do not exit the tram on your own for any reason. Wait for your guide to provide assistance. We can't emphasize strongly enough how important this is. To remain seated and inside the tram at all times while on the tour. We appreciate your cooperation. Thanks so much and enjoy your visit to the world famous Universal Studios store.
That one doesn't work. We're refilling that one.
Do you have cake in our group?
Okay, yeah, just wait right here. Come on up.
Okay, where do I?
Car 3.
All guests will be required to sanitize their hands just prior to boarding. Thank you for your cooperation and enjoy your tour.
I think this area will do.
Okay, we're gonna see people.
I don't want to crowd anyone.
Very cool off. Let's make sure everybody's a pair of glasses. If you do not have a pair, put your hands up.
Boy, I have noticed that there's so many past movies.
Looks like we're ready to rock and roll. For the duration of our tour today, since you made into a signed well and submitted with your truck, we also ask that you make yourself involved in our time.
For the record, I'm glad I took the express pass with that deal. The only one. Oh, I got my 3D ticket. I mean 3D glasses in honor of the King Kong. But you know what also reminded me was those videos of Shark Productions. Oh wait.
Dun, dun. All right, everybody, good afternoon and welcome aboard the world famous Universal Studios tour. How's everyone doing today? Doing good?
Yeah.
I see the applause back there. I don't quite hear it, but I see it. I see it. You're referring. Oh, there you go. I like that. That's always cool. All right, let me introduce myself. My name is Owen. I'll be your guide for today as we lift the veil of secrecy on some of Hollywood's hottest filming locations. Now, before we get going, does everyone have a pair of 3D glasses? Our
Yes.
studio tour ambassador should have handed those out to you as you were seated in your rows. As you do find your seats, just make sure you have any small children whose feet don't quite touch the tram floor. Sat away from the outside gates, closer to the center of the rows. That is for their safety and for my peace of mind. And just for a reminder, folks, a refresher, for the duration of the tour today, please remain in your assigned row and sit only with your traveling party. We also ask that you keep facial coverings on at all times. And it's also a good idea to wash your hands frequently and use hand sanitizer. Well, let's start waving goodbye to these people here on the left. Bye. Enjoy your tour.
Bye.
Let's say hello to my co-host, Mr. Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there! You made it! Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Owen.
And the greatest driver.
Miller.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Owen.
owes me $5. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
Yes, pay very close attention. This does concern you and your safety. First things first, take a look above you. You'll see a big red cord that runs right down the center of the tram. That is our emergency cord. So if you have an emergency of any kind, if anything falls off the side of the tram, or if you have any problems with the audio or visual portion of the tour, just give that cord a pull, and I'll come back to assist you. It goes something like this. This is the big one, folks. At all times throughout our tour together, please remain seated and keep everything inside the tour vehicle. Arms, legs, personal belongings, and your entire person. We are entering private property as invited guests. We don't want to find out what happens to trespassers. I've seen it happen. It's not pretty. Sorry, Frankie, there's no smoking allowed in the tram. Please put out that cigar, buddy. Thank you. And lastly, be prepared for anything on today's tour, like loud noises, fire effects, sudden tram movements, and the possibility of getting wet. We do feature several water effects on the tour, so keep those cameras nice, dry, and protected. We're leaving the theme park behind and taking it inside the heart of a real working motion picture and television studio, where some of Hollywood's biggest names come to work every single day. And we do have a rich history here. We've been making movies on this property now for over 100 years. You're going to see some of the best on either side of us in the form of our movie poster timeline. And I'm willing to bet you're going to see at least one, if not more, of your favorite Universal movies represented. I always bought my personal favorite. I can verify it with you right now. It's carved right here into my old name tag, old comedy we made called Animal House. You got any fans of that one? Just me? It's a really fun comedy. You'll see the poster for Animal House here on the left side, 1978. Really great one with John Belushi. We are also our own city here, Universal City, California. We even have our own fire station coming up here on the right-hand side. That's going to be Fire Station 51. We have our own branch of the Sheriff's Department, our own honorary mayor. We are Universal City, California, zip code 91608. We're about to enter the front lot of the studio property where the majority of filming takes place. We actually do a lot of filming inside these large beige warehouse-looking structures that we call
for the
sound stations.
90s.
Now, the outside they don't look like much, but inside is where we can make movie magic. All of these sets for all of these scenes and all of these productions filmed inside of Soundstage 12 here on the left side as you're around the corner. I know it says The Voice right there, but they've actually moved into the largest stages right now, stages 24 and 25, elsewhere on the property. On your screens, that's what it looks like inside when it's ready for filming. This is what it looks like before we do anything to it. Nice, big, and empty. A lot of hard work goes into building those amazing sets inside of our stages. They are about 98% soundproof. Comes in handy. Once those cameras start to roll, you have to be real quiet on the sets. Don't want anyone to take. The director kind of gets mad. Now, we also have stages 16 and 17 coming up the way here. It's 2 stages where they can house one giant set in between the two of them. That's exactly what they did for a little NBC comedy we made called Superstore.
It's hot in here, but let's have some patience for one another.
Yeah, you know, the heat makes us all act.
If your face stays where it is, it's going to get punched.
That's where they had the interior, or at least portions of it, for the Cloud9 Superstore. In fact, the store is so big, they actually used another stage just around this next corner here. That would be Soundstage number 21. Which will also be on your left-hand side. There we go. Stage 21 is where they had portions of Whoville for How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And Ron Howard was also there directing a great 1995 movie called Apollo 13. That's where they had the mission control sets for that great one with Tom Hanks and Kevin Bacon.
You don't say.
Stage 21 is also where they had an Antarctic research base for one of my all-time favorite horror movies, John Carpenter's The Thing, starring Kurt Russell. They refrigerated the entire soundstage on the inside to make it seem like they were in the Arctic. Love the attention to detail right there. Now, as we continue down this stretch of road, folks, we're going to take you past even more stages. This time they're going to be coming up on the right-hand side. This is where we do a lot of filming for television shows. More recently, shows like Good Girls with Christina Hendricks, Retta, and Mae Whitman, as well as our new one on NBC called Mr. Mayor, which stars Ted Danson and Holly Hunter. Ted Danson has been filming here for some time, even before Mr. Mayor, because prior to that show is where he filmed another great NBC comedy series called The Good Place, alongside his fellow co-stars Kristen Bell, William Jackson, Harper Mooney, Jacinto, Jamila Jamil, and Darcy Norman. In fact, you see all of those stars on a billboard outside of Soundstage 44 coming up on the right-hand side. Love that show. Definitely recommend it. Oh, if you guys are hoping to see stars today, we got one right over here on the left side. His name is Ted. He's the star of Ted and Ted 2. Cheers. Now, he's hanging outside these beige bungalows, which once upon a time acted as the dressing rooms for the stars in the early days of contract players. Actors and actresses would be under contract to the studio for multiple picture deals, and they'd have an entire bungalow all to themselves. Nowadays, they act as offices for our top writers, producers, and directors. They get work right out of these offices to take a tiny idea and flesh it out into a full-fledged film or television production. Now, if you want to see a very famous bungalow, all you have to do is keep an eye open for the magic numbers. In this case, it is 5195. Bungalow 5195 has a very famous profile painted outside of it. Both the profile and the bungalow itself once belonged to the master of terror and suspense, Sir Alfred Hitchcock, the director of Psycho, Rear Window, The Birds, Vertigo, amongst many other classic thrillers. But we're getting ready to mosey right along out of the front lot and into the back lot, where the world is just around the corner. This is where we shoot the big stuff, exterior scenes on a very large scale. In fact, they do have some work that they've been doing recently for American Ninja Warrior, right on our New York Street set. They've come here the past few years to film that amazing competition series. So you might see some girders being taken down from that obstacle course on our New York Street set, which will be on the left as we start moving forward in just a moment. A little further back in our Metro set areas where they've been working hard on the new Peacock series, which premieres tonight if you want to tune in and check out the new comedy series Rutherford Falls, which stars comedian Ed Helms. You might remember him as Andy on The Office. And do we have any fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Is there any Marvel movies? There you are. I see you back there. Excellent. It transformed our New York Street set up ahead here into 1940s Brooklyn for Captain America, the First Avenger, with Chris Evans and Hugo Weaving. Just looking for the part of the chase scene when Steve Rogers gets imbued with the super soldier serum, chasing down a Hydra spy. When he's jumping on the tops of cars to catch up to the bad guy getting away in a taxi cab. That's right here on our Universal backlot. We've had not one, but two of the Spider-Men filmed right here. Originally, it was Tobey Maguire for Spider-Man 2, where he was trying to get to see Mary Jane Watson in her big Broadway debut. But later on, inside the suit was Andrew Garfield, and he was trying to fight his way out of police custody as the Amazing Spider-Man. And if you see any bricks on these buildings as we move forward, folks, not a single actual brick in any one of these structures. Those are just sheets of plastic and fiberglass made up to look like bricks, and they certainly do the trick for our cameras. And thanks for just going along with us on that one. We appreciate it. Here we go. You look to your left, you'll see a little bit of our Metro set area. Right over there. Right now, I want to turn things over to an Academy Award-winning director. His name is Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up into nature. Kong literally does it. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you encounter monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island. It was great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.
That's right, we are, folks.
Okay, guys, I have to turn this
Get a little
off.
bumpy as
with a project like a studio tour, the audience is in the middle of the environment. They're looking in all directions, there's creatures coming at them, they're seeing Kong from this side and T-Rexes from the other side. Working on a movie, we always know people are looking straight ahead, they're looking at the shot that we're working on. Here you have to take into account that people are looking in all directions. Also, one of the things about this wide, unlike the movies that we're used to working on, there's no cuts, because it's one giant shot. This tram that's driving along through Skull Island is where the camera's from. This frame represents where the screen is 10 meters away. We're really creating about 50 minutes of a feature film. That amount of visual information, that number of pixels, and presenting them to the audience, it's a hell of a lot.
Wasn't it just? You guys enjoy your trip to Skull Island? And to the gentleman in car 4 with your foot outside the tram, we need you to keep your foot inside the tram if you want to keep said foot. Thank you very much. Everything inside the tour vehicle. Arms, legs, everything. I know it must be comfortable back there, but we need you to keep everything inside the tour vehicle. Thank you for your cooperation. But we're going to go from the sweet ride that is King Kong 360 3D right now. We're going to start heading past some sweet rides in our transportation department. Some of the cars we have on display for you up the road here, folks, are even more famous than the stars who have driven them. I certainly recognize the first two vehicles from my childhood. Anybody else remember the 80s? There you are. I thought you looked familiar. How you been? Now, the first car's had some work done, but I assure you that's an old friend of mine named Kit from the show Knight Rider. And he's parked right next to one of the Ferraris from Magnum P.I., a great show with Tom Selleck. We also have some Back to the Future vehicles. The futuristic ones from Part 2 play very nicely next to the prehistoric vehicles from the Flintstones. Got some racers from the Fast and Furious films, and you'll even see some of the expeditious vehicles from the Jurassic films, like the gyrosphere from Jurassic World.
Wicked.
Minus the glass, because the glass was entirely digital and added later on in post-production. It's just easier to film that way.
Oh, the
You don't have to worry about anyone
gyrosphere.
suffocating in the glass
the
dome. You don't have to worry about reflections of the crew members. It is all good. Maybe a little extra work in post-production, but totally worth it for the finished result. It looked absolutely seamless in the finished product. Now we are gearing up to take a little expedition to a little island off the coast of Costa Rica. I could introduce this area, but I have someone on hand who can do it just a tad better than I can. I have no shame in admitting that. I'm just going to pass the reins to him right now. Oh, where did you go? There you go.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
You see what I mean? He just does it way better. I'm just going to pass the reins to him every time. He just brings this weight, this class, this gravitas to it. Maybe one day I'll learn how to do it as good as he does, but that's not today. Now, we are going to pass by vehicles and set decoration featured throughout the first 3 of the Jurassic films, including this one here on the right, this boat from Jurassic Park 3 with Sam Neill and Taya Leone. Across from that on the left, we have the mobile lab unit from the Lost World Jurassic Park with Jeff Goldblum and Julianne Moore. Now, we don't have to worry about any dinosaur attacks, but I can enhance the mood through the music of John Williams. It really just brings the ambience and everything to life. Really just adds. Oh, hang on. Oh. Okay. I'm sorry. Watch out back there. We do have some very angry Dilophosaurus. And it should wash out if they get you. It should wash out. I want to say like maybe a cold rinse.
Oh my god, they got me.
Just a cold rinse on that venomous stick right there. Now, even on the end here, guys, you'll see these massive tree trunks. Those tree trunks are not real either. I know. It's actually carved styrofoam painted to look like real trees. They did nice attention to detail, adding little touches like moss, but they're very easily movable as well. Some of those are on wheels. That way we can position them and reposition them anywhere we want to on set. If we have only one soundstage for our jungle, we can just move things around in that soundstage, and we can have a different part of the jungle altogether. So it just comes down to moving certain elements and having absolute creative control over the proceedings. Now, creative control is the dominant element in Hollywood here, and nothing more certain of creative control than the weather. We certainly have to schedule around certain inclement weather conditions. We might get rained out of a day, or certain tropical conditions if we're filming way on location. But sometimes we have to create it on a whim. And that's exactly what we're going to do with this next demonstration. We're going to make our way down into our old Mexico area. Slowly and surely we're going to make our way down here and get in position for a little demonstration our boys have worked up for us. So as we get in position down the way here, guys, you're going to want to keep your focus and attention on the left side of our vehicle as we park outside this nice little Mexican village set that we have. Now you're going to want to keep a sharp eye on the buildings across the way here on the left, because if you keep a sharp eye on them, in just a moment you'll start to see flashes of lightning. There we go. You might be able to hear sounds of thunder as well, courtesy of our sound department. So we got lightning, we got thunder coming next. In case you don't, spoiler alerts.
This is where they filmed so many.
Overhead sprinkler system spray water straight up and out, so it's chilly, and bam, instant rain whenever we need it. Now we will make our raindrops larger than normal sized raindrops so they show up clearly on screen. If you ever watch a sporting event at home and there's a rain delay, you're like, it's not that bad, go out and finish the game. That's regular rain. It doesn't show up too well. That way we get our full effect right here. Of course, if we keep the rain effect going for too long, you know what happens, fellas. This happens every time. This is what I'm talking about. You get a build-up. You get a little build-up heading our way, like this flash.
Oh no!
The result of thousands of gallons of water being pumped down the hill and recycled all the way up to the top. And used to great effect in our comedy Big Fat Liar with Frankie Muniz and Paul.
Oh, I remember this one.
You can't outrun a wolf, kid!
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Hang on, funny
All washed up right there. Now, it stands to reason that our old Mexico sets would go be really good neighbors with our western area. It certainly is the case with our 6 Points, Texas area. We're going to pass on the left as we make the turn. Got its name because it started off as 6 interconnecting western street sets. That meant in the early days of silent film, they could film 6 different westerns at the same time. Never had to worry about sound carrying over onto another's production. It's where Quentin Tarantino shot a huge chunk of his 2019 masterpiece, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's where Leonardo DiCaprio was working as Rick Dalton on the episode of Lancer, the pilot episode. Now, we are just about to cross roughly the halfway portion of our tour. Got a lot more to show you. Just want to toss up those reminders there again for your safety. Please remain seated at all times. Look after your little ones. Keep everything inside the tour vehicle. And if you have an emergency or need to get my attention, we got the big red cord on top of the tram, which will definitely do the trick. Now, we're going to see about shaking things up in just a second. We're going to see about getting access to a soundstage, but it looks like they're doing some work around the corner. I'm going to hop off mic for just a little bit.
Oh, this is where they filmed The Good Place. Interesting. You know, speaking of The Good Place, I do imagine Eleanor and the other 3 actors as witches and wizards for Hogwarts. I do imagine Eleanor as a Gryffindor. Well, more like a Slytherin.
I see you all over me, my head.
Black one, definitely a Ravenclaw. The Asian guy? Definitely a Hufflepuff. And that popular girl?
Summer after high school when we first met. We make out in your Mustang too.
Definitely a Gryffindor. Okay.
Alright guys, thank you for your patience there. Just doing some filming over there for Home and Family on the Hallmark channel, but right now we're going to take you inside of Soundstage 50 where they did work years past on an episode of the Fox television series Bones.
That's him, right over there.
Filmed right here inside of Stage 50, a very unique stage in that this is a 2-level sound stage. You see staircases on either side of us. They actually lead upstairs to a street level.
Oh no! What the?
Don't worry, just a small Californian trauma. We get it from time to time, so don't worry, guys. news, it looks like the earthquake has stopped. And oh, hang on, bad news, it looks like the water mains are broken.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna work on getting out of here.
Let's get out of here, shall we?
Congratulations, guys. You just heard the big one. That effect might seem familiar if you caught that episode of Bones. In case you missed it, check it out here on your screens.
You know, for the record, fun fact, that they filmed an episode of Bones, but also Beverly Hills Cop. Remember that scene about the alien attack? That ride,
it's kind of like deja vu,
that
right?
Axel Foley one?
Just experienced that.
That was it.
Looks like on television.
I remember that scene like it was yesterday.
Calm things down after that last little shake-up. We're going to head over to a nice relaxing vacation town called Amity Islands, which I know some of you may have heard of before. Yes, we have had some shark problems in the past. You don't need to worry. We caught a shark the other day. He's hanging up right over here on the right. As we head to town. And they're doing one last check in the area. They got a diver in there right now. And he's got some company. All right. Yeah, he's circling towards the diver. I'm going to try to get his attention. 1 second, please.
Oh, no. Oh, God! Oh, no! Oh, no!
Well, you got a lot of guts to be out there, ladies and gentlemen. And there they are. It's gross. Kids, look away. You don't need to see them. We should be fine as long as you move someplace safer. How about we try this? How about we move up a little bit? We're going to try to hide out right here behind these flammable gas tanks. These drums of flammable gasoline. It's much safer right here. I got a theory I want to try. I'm seeing a chain reaction back there that might be able to help us out here. All we need is just... There we go. You see, my theory is that sharks don't like fire. Fire doesn't mix well with water. Sharks live in water. You get where I'm going with that, right? They don't really... Oh,
no.
All right, everybody, give it up for Bruce, the mechanical shark from the hit film Jaws. Did a great job today. Not such a great job when they were filming the movie. The very first time they tried to use the mechanical sharks on set, it sank to the bottom of the ocean. It turns out they were testing it in freshwater conditions when they started filming on location. The saltwater didn't agree with Bruce and it pushed production back over 100 days. But they toughed it out and they delivered a classic that I watch every 4th of July. Jaws is my 4th of July movie. Just like how Die Hard is my Christmas movie. It absolutely is. Every Father's Day I'll watch Field of Dreams, great one with Kevin Costner. And Mother's Day, that's when I watch Psycho. Great Mother's Day movie, I will say. I'll die on that hill. Now we are going to start moving onwards and upwards. We're going to start passing by some suburban areas of our lot next. In fact, just up a little way here on the left side, you'll see a little bit of Elm Street. Not that Elm Street, just called Elm Street. That's where they filmed our classic To Kill a Mockingbird with Gregory Peck and Robert Duvall. Across the way from that on the right side, you'll start to see our chicken ranch area, which was used in the past for great television shows like About a Boy with Minnie Driver, episodes of The Mentalist with Simon Baker, as well as Parenthood with Peter Krause and Craig T. Nelson. Now, up further still, and back over to the left side, we're going to drive right past the entry points to Colonial Street, which recently has been used for the new Mindy Kaling series Never Have I Ever. Right here on the left side, this entry point to Colonial Street. If you want a better look at Colonial and some other great filming examples, take a look here at your screens. just a nice little suburban suite that I wish I could move into because it would cut down on my commute to work immensely. It would really help me out. As you look on either side of us, you'll see trees. I know, take photos, go for it. Really nice trees. But we'll use every single square inch of our property for filming, and our Wilderness Road is a prime example of that. We've used our wilderness areas for comedies like Wanderlust with Paul Rudd and Jennifer Aniston, episodes of 911 with Angela Bassett, as well as the Netflix hit movie Bird Box starring Sandra Bullock. She wandered around our wilderness in blindfold. But we are getting ready to pass by some very interesting areas. Very interesting. I guess that's the nicest word I can come up with. Because as soon as you're around this next corner, folks, we're going to be passing by certainly a very creepy set. But I always like seeing in the rain. It just works out so much better when you see the Bates Motel and the Psycho house as it was in the movie Psycho.
We all know a little action now.
Oh, look, there it is.
Alright, now, probably already have them handy, but if you don't, get your cameras ready, because once we pass the Psycho house, we're going to drive you inside one of the most elaborate sets in film history. The crash. I know what some of you might be asking yourselves. The answer is yes, that is a real 747 that was bought and destroyed to make this scene possible in the movie.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision that Stephen had.
When we first began to sit down to talk about the War of the World, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep pressing me. Listen, listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Okay, I'm closed. Robbie, get in. Get in. You wouldn't have had to tell me twice. I would have gotten in the car the first time. If I'm being truly honest with myself, I would have been in the car already if I was in issues. I would have been honking the horn saying, Dad, let's go, Dad, let's go. But she wants to hang around here. It's just creepy and just ominous, this amazing crash site set from War of the Worlds. Now, as we exit this set, folks, we're going to be heading into the home stretch. We have roughly 10 minutes left in our tour experience. We're going to close things out on a bang, I assure you. But as we head out of this set, keep your eyes on the right side, look way out in the distance, you'll see our Falls Lake area. I'm talking about that big blue screen out there mainly. That big blue backdrop you'll see way out there on the right side can double for just about anything, like it did for the movie Sully with Tom Hanks. Ooh. Evacuate. Right back there is where director Clint Eastwood recreated The Miracle on the Hudson. They filled up the pit in front of the screen with water, put the plane, the passengers, and some boats out there. Everything else is a plate shot, stitched in digitally later on in post-production. Absolutely incredible what they can do these days. And I don't want to forget about this cabin either. This cabin might look familiar if you've seen a little Universal comedy starring John Candy and Dan Aykroyd called The Great Outdoors. That cabin was also seen in Deja Vu with Denzel Washington, as well as Shooter with Mark Wahlberg, who got blown up at the end of that movie. It was also in Deja Vu with Denzel Washington, as well as episodes of Star Trek's Picard with Patrick Stewart. And, I always forget the last one. Give me a second. Oh yeah, it was also in Deja Vu with Denzel Washington. Threes in comedy, I'm told. Threes. Now, where are my Fast and Furious fans? Here. There you are. You guys pumped for the 9th installment coming out in just a few months' time? They're pumping it back there. Excellent. Well, if you just can't wait for F9, we're going to put you right into the middle of a Fast and Furious experience with our epic conclusion to the studio tour, Fast and Furious Supercharged. I want to give you a little bit of the lowdown right here, so I'm just going to put you right in the middle of it.
Look, this might be more serious than I thought. What just happened? This is a secure line. Who are you?
I'll tell you who I am, boy. I'm the reason bad guys use a nightlight. I'm the reason the boogeyman begs his mama to look under his bed. And I'm the reason you just lost control of this whole operation. My name is Special Agent Luke Hobbs of the U.S. Diplomatic Security Service. And as of 16.9 seconds ago, I'm the man in charge.
The hell you are.
Let me clue you in on two things, sweet cheeks. One, there's a high-value witness from the Federal Protection Program aboard your vehicle. And two, an international crime syndicate led by Owen Shaw is honing in on this vehicle to take that witness out. Shaw's as ruthless as they come. He'll stop at nothing to eliminate his target. Every living soul on this vehicle is in serious danger. Other than that, enjoy the ride.
This is not your jurisdiction.
It is now, stink pickle.
I'm so tired of you state guys stepping in. Just whenever you feel like it.
Mute him.
Okay.
Don't you...
That's better. We're moving your vehicle to a safe location until we have the situation under control. Until then, I want everybody to stay calm. Enjoy the ride. I'm taking care of business. Hobbs out.
My name is Roman Pierce. Pleased to meet you. Our buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you from Shaw for a while. So we brought you in our secret spot.
Alright, look guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you, but to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here, so put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone could give...
Well guys, I guess that's it for the studio tour. I must say, both King Kong and Fast and the Furious Supercharged were extraordinary. It was awesome. Oh, I'm so glad to be here. God, I love Universal.